Hey G.I. Joe fans, Joe Motion Videos 82 here. It is time for another G.I. Joe toy review, and today we're going to be taking a trip back to 1984. We're going to be looking at another small vehicle, the 1984 Skyhawk. Yes, another small. These are pretty popular amongst collectors today. These are often fleet built. They are very compact, and they look great displayed together. I had this one hanging from my ceiling for quite some time, and now it is proudly displayed up with my tactical battle platform right on the landing ramp. Perfect fit for it. So this was available from 84 to 87 when it was released. I say 87 when it was released through mail order, so that's why I'm saying it was available for that time. It was $3.28 for the original retail price, so about the same cost, the same price as an action figure, just maybe a few cents more. So a kid could afford one of these with some pocket change and have a nice vehicle, a very well detailed vehicle to go with his or her collection. I'm starting to run into more and more women who say they had played with G.I. Joe as children. As either their brother's collection or they collected them themselves, which I think is pretty cool. I would have definitely hung out with that girl as well. Outside of the fact that she was a girl, you know, had a G.I. Joe collection. I mean, that is a win-win right there. So yeah, this was available through the mail order catalog. With a few flag points and maybe $1 or $2 for postage and handling, and you got yourself a Skyhawk. In 1986, this was reused for the Dreadnought. Hold on, my cat is being a pain. For the Sears exclusive Dreadnought vehicles, they had the Dreadnought version of the Skyhawk and their version of the Ram Cycle. And I think there's another vehicle, and those are very hard to get a hold of. The Vamp, they had their own version of the Vamp. Those are very hard to get because they were Sears exclusive, and the plastic is pretty frail. So finding them intact, complete, and unbroken is getting to be harder and harder. So I unfortunately do not have any of those, or I would review those. So anyway, this was later reused in 1990 for Sky Patrol, and it was decked out all in silver and the metallic back metallized chrome silver for Sky Patrol. Very cool toy line, subset I should say. I only had one figure from that line, and I played with that parachute until I wore the Mylar out on that thing. Yeah, I was a teenager, so what? I had fun with that. It was a parachute, for crying out loud. So I digress. We're talking about the Skyhawk. This took place. This is such a cool toy. Childhood memories with this. Yes, I do have them. We played with this until the sun went up, sun up to sundown. It was very integral in our playtime. It made several appearances in the G.I. Joe cartoon series, so it had to be a part of our playtime. And for us, Duke was always the pilot for this. Speaking of which, who did you use to pilot your Skyhawk? Duke just seemed to be the natural fit for us. His colors that really seemed to contrast well with the Skyhawk. So we had a great time with it. So anyway, you didn't tune into this channel just to hear me speak. You tuned in to see this wonderful antique toy, not to hear an antique talk about antique toys. So here we go. Let's flip the camera around and take a look at this wonderful and unique, not unique at all, but this wonderful toy. Here we go. It's unique because it's mine. That's why it's unique. Now, so here it is, the Skyhawk. Oh gosh, this is really neat. The head or the cockpit of this kind of looks like a T-Rex skull to me, which I think is pretty cool. But just looking at it, this possibly could fly in theory, especially given today's technology. It just might work. This is a VTOL vehicle, meaning vertical takeoff and landing. The turbines right here would just tilt back and it would lift off like a helicopter and land the same way, and then the turbines would tilt forward, use propulsion, but these do not stay in place anymore just through years of play. Just looking at the side view here, you have side-mounted machine guns here. Then you have your skids made up of that soft gray plastic. And here on the skid you have one foot peg. I'll show you really close here. You have a foot peg there. I would not put today's action figures on those. Those foot pegs are pretty big. I'm afraid I'd crack the heels on those figures. And the other side is the exact same. Right here it says Lieutenant Frederick Bama. Whoever Frederick Bama was. Anybody know who Frederick Bama is? Let me know down in the comments. Again, you have a side-mounted cannon, and here on the front there's a side-to-side sweeping chin gun. Very nice. Then you have on the bottom here mounted rockets. If I can get this one to come off, mounts right onto this dumbbell peg. There is no left or right rocket. Tail fin falls off real easy. These look like Sparrow missiles to me. Those are easily missing, as well as these tail fins. So that's something to look for on the aftermarket. So did I have those on backwards? I have two. I have opposite ones. Never mind. I have them on backwards. There is a left and right side to these. I have two right-sided ones. So anyway, these two tail fins here, as you can tell, they were the decals were put on wrong. No, actually, I have two of the same ones. For this one, I bought it incomplete, but this is as complete as I will get it. So there's a left and right tail fin or stabilizer on there. Tail fin here on the back. You see these stabilizers do fall off real easy. The turbine here just snaps right onto the top. You can see how this is worn down quite well through a lot of play. See the turbines, the air intake there, and the exhaust. Uses the Venturi principle. Decrease forward velocity and increase lateral pressure, I think, is the Venturi principle. So meaning you take more air in and narrow as it narrows, it increases the velocity. So that's how that works. The skids, they slot right onto the back here. And you can see that it kind of has a little rocking motion on that. The canopy does lift up without any problem and stays into place. Some examples on this, you will find that the back peg is broken off and the gear shift right here will be broken off, but you won't. It doesn't happen very often, but I have seen those online where I've seen some of those in that condition. Here on the inside, it does have the pilot couch padded, which is very nice for long hours of flight, but that's about it. No further bells and whistles or decals on the inside. Just some little bits of machinery in there, and the canopy just goes and shuts. No windows, but it's a small vehicle, so you wouldn't expect that to be a going concern for one of the smaller vehicles. If it were something larger, of course Hasbro would have added plexiglass windows for this, but you can see just the detail that they add to this. They spared no expense really when it came to detailing such a small vehicle. They gave you a lot of bang for your buck, and that I really appreciate, and I appreciated it a lot back then too. Gave you a very nice vehicle to play with. Right here, you can see that there's a sticker with some a control panel sticker on the canopy, so that makes up for the lack of on the inside of the command console or the cockpit itself. So there you have it, guys. The Skyhawk at its best. Let me know what you guys think. Very cool vehicle. I really enjoy having this. I was excited to get it as a part of my collection, and very happy to continue to own this, incomplete as it is. I'm just thrilled to have it. And all I really need to do is flip those stickers over and it would be fine. All right, so here it is, the Skyhawk. Such a cool little toy. Like I said, this got a lot of play time when we were kids. My friend John and I, we didn't fight over this one. This guy I usually played with the most. It was older to him, so he didn't care. He always had something new to play with, but this was my go-to. I just loved the small vehicles, and this was my go-to. I would fly it really close to the ground and wipe out Cobra with this thing. Had a lot of fun with it. Just seeing this thing, I could still just the smell of the inside of his house, the feel of the carpet, just everything just comes flooding back, you know, holding this toy, you know, those powerful memories. You even hear his birds chirping. They had cockatiels and a parrot. Ozzy and Harriet were the cockatiels and Bert was their parrot. Yeah, just very interesting time to be a kid, wasn't it? So many toy lines competing for dominance in the market, knocking off each other's ideas. So many of them rose and fell as quickly as they, you know, meteoric rise and fall. I mean, LJN, Galoob, all these toy lines, and you know, we still have the powerhouses: Hasbro, Kenner, Mattel, you know, Fisher Price, of course, but the others just kind of got dissolved. Yeah, this guy, a lot of memories. So anyway, let me know what you think about this toy. Do you have it? Did you have it? Share with me your thoughts down in the comments. I really love to hear from you guys. I do apologize for not being on air last week. It is dove season out here in Arizona, so I've been out on my days off, out hunting dove, having a great time doing so. I've taken you guys up to the mountain range with me, the White Tank Mountains, so I hunt up there. Just have a good time. Spend more time out there hiking than I do actually finding doves, which is fine, you know. And rabbit is they're in abundance out here, and there's no, you can hunt them year round. There's no season there's no wabbit season out here. They're year round. So have fun doing that, you know. Hunt the rabbits, my crossbow, and doves with a pellet gun. Yeah, shotgun. I hunted one year with a shotgun, but I want to do a little more sporting chance this year, you know, since I'm doing with a crossbow for the rabbits, you know, shotgun, just keep that away, and, you know, pellet gun for dove. Of course, you have to wait for them to perch. That'd be a great, but anyway, this isn't Fish and Game Channel, is it? So I just have more fun being on the outdoors in the cooler temperatures. Anyway, it's only 103 today, so it's cooler out, tolerable. So anyway, yeah, Skyhawk, not doves. The Sky Dove. Yeah, G.I. Joe Sky Dove. No. So anyway, thank you guys very much for tuning in. I really do appreciate you. Appreciate everyone who subscribed to this channel. Couldn't do it without you. Otherwise, I'd just be this old fart talking about toys to a camera and nobody listening. So this channel's for you, and to document historical documents, preserving the ideas and memories of these fantastic toys. So anyway, I will go ahead and let you guys go. I've bored you long enough with my banter. Take care. All right, stay safe out there. Getting to be cold and flu season again. Don't forget to wash your hands. It's your first line of defense. We do touch our faces up to 300 times a day statistically. So definitely wash your hands. It's very important. Vitamin C, plenty of fluids, bed rest. Do what we can, right? Stay healthy. I want to see you guys around for many, many years to come. So anyway, we'll see you next week for another G.I. Joe toy review. Hopefully I'm gonna share some hunting stories with you. Maybe not. Might just keep those to myself. I ate the dove by myself. Dark meat, kind of gamey. Wabbit. All right. See ya.